Alright, so here we go again. We're here for part 2 of this maze game. So just want to go over a few things just to make sure we're all on the same page. You should have created a new project that had 3 sprites. One, the player sprite, a maze sprite, and a goal sprite. If you didn't rename your sprites player, maze, and goal, I want you to go ahead and pause this video and do that right now. That way it'll make it easier for you whenever we start coding. Alright, so hopefully you went ahead and renamed your 3 sprites, player, maze, and goal. So what we're going to do now is we're going to review our maze. Clicking on costume, you should have 3 costumes that has 3 different mazes drawn. You definitely want to make sure that your maze is like transparent in the middle, which means no fill. So there should be any colors. You should be able to see these checkered dots. If you can't, you can try clicking the fill, clicking no fill, and then clicking out and hopefully using this paint to actually make that checkered again. One thing that we want to do is we want to be organized, so we want to make sure we rename our costumes level 1 by clicking costume right here and just typing in level 1, level 2, and level 3. That's going to come in handy whenever we are programming it. So next we're going to go back and I'm going to click on my player sprite. And so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of think about our algorithm that we want to happen. So I want this cat to start in the same spot each time on this maze. You can kind of change that up as you go through your levels, but right now I'm going to want mine to start in the same spot, but you can actually like change that up later as we get into this. And so we're going to go to motion. Well, first we need to click on events and we need to tell them when to go to those spots. So we want them to click, when we click the green flag, I want him to go somewhere. So we're going to use these motion blocks, these go to XY. The easy way to use this block is to actually drag your sprite where you want them to start at. Then these numbers change, so then you can just drag out the block. Well, since I don't want mine to start here, I'm going to drag him down here. That's where I want him to start at. Then I'm going to tell him to go to XY. So remember, you don't have to have yours start in the same spot. That's kind of up to you. I'm just going to have mine start here. And then we're going to make him move. So how mine is going to work is when I click the up, left, or down arrows, I'm going to have him move in that direction. So we're going to use a forever loop because we're going to use what's called a conditional block, which is this if then. And this is going to check for a condition that I put here in this little trapezoid. It's called a boolean. And it's basically going to return true or false. So either I'm pressing the arrow key or I'm not. So in this case, if I'm pressing up arrow key, I don't want this sprite to go up. So we're going to go to motion. To make them go up, we're going to change Y by a positive number. And it's always a good practice to test your code as you're adding blocks to make sure it works. So he can move up, but he cannot move down. So I'm going to right click and hit duplicate. If you're on a Chromebook, you can use 2-finger click and then you can just duplicate your block. But here I want him to go down. So if the key down arrow is pressed, then we want to change Y by -10 to make him move down. And once again, we can press the down arrow so he goes up and down. And of course, if you can't duplicate, it's not a big deal to just if then sensing right arrow. So for pressing the right arrow, instead of changing Y, we're actually going to change X by 10 to make him go to the right. And I'm going to duplicate. Do the same thing for the left arrow. So if I press the left arrow key, we're going to change X by -10 to make him go to the left. Now will be the time to test your code. Make sure he starts in the corner and make him move. Just like that, as you can tell. Alright, so the last thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make sure we can go to control, and we're going to add one block in here that's just going to check if we're touching our maze. So if we're touching our maze, we're going to stop everything. So I'm going to go sensing, touching, maze. I'm going to have mine display a sound, so we're going to go start sound meow, and then I'm going to go control and do a stop off. So you'll want to actually test to make sure you can go through your level. There we go. There we go. So you want to go through and actually test your code to make sure you can go through your level and actually play your game. Alright, bye.